Hello, I'm Ashley, and I'm going to be doing a reading for the month of January 2019. I did already pull the cards for the month just to save some time, so I'm not going like an hour long, but there was a lot of messages that came through. I did use 3 different decks. I used the Rider-Waite Tarot, Wisdom of the Oracle, and Magical Messages from the Fairies, and then I am going to pull a Lightwork Oracle at the end, just to get like an overall message. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. This is for the month of January 2019, so Happy New Year. It's New Year's Eve here. So Happy New Year, and the first card that I got, I asked what is the overall energy for the month, and I love the card that came up. We got the High Priestess. So this is all about like using our intuition, being guided by our intuition, our insight, our clairvoyance, our clairaudience, telepathy, anything that's like spiritual. So this is more like the divine feminine energy. So this is really about using our intuition, and it's important to remember that whatever messages come to you through this reading, like whatever messages come through your intuition is what's meant for you. So I'm just getting that this month it's very important that we rely on our intuition, and we rely on all things that like don't really seem clear. Like, trust your intuition over everything is what I'm getting, because like I'm getting that there's going to be things that on the outside don't look a certain way, or are kind of like deceiving, or not completely revealed is what I'm getting. And so it's important to just trust your intuition. So just go with whatever you're feeling. So trust your feelings this month. Emotional healing might be coming up too, because the more we trust our intuition, the more we have to use our emotions. So we have to discern what emotions are like coming from past pain, or what emotions are coming up right now, or where it's being triggered from. So when we're moving through the dark, because that's what I'm getting, it's like I'm getting it's an energy of darkness, and I have several messages here that say that, like, the darkness. So it's about using your intuition, like shining your light. And with that, I pulled Milk and Honey. So this card is a card about like abundance, and I think I'm going to read it actually, because this deck always just has really good messages. So number 51. This is the overall energy. So like trust your intuition when it comes to like abundance, and trusting that you're on the right track, that you're manifesting. That's what I'm getting to, that you're manifesting what you want, and to trust your intuition over what you're seeing. I'm getting that the outside hasn't caught up to the inside, and so it can make you like lose faith. It can make you give up hope. This is saying here to trust your intuition. Everything that you've been seeing, everything you've been feeling through your senses is accurate, and you can trust it. So Milk and Honey, the taste of prosperity, opportunities born of authenticity, nurturing abundance, trusting that your needs will be met. Perfectly, trusting that your needs will be met. That's important. You've entered a sweet time in your life, enjoying the land of milk and honey that everyone wants to experience. It's an interlude that feels more languid than ambitious. When all of your senses are awake, that's perfect with the High Priestess, to the unlimited possibilities in the universe. These times are precious and only come when you are in your authentic zone, wearing the world as a loose garment, not wanting, yet able to be nourished in ways both tangible and subtle. Abundance is an energy that you are a living part of. All your needs are being met. You are given the gift of nourishment in every form. That's perfect. So it's like trusting that your needs will be met. That was perfect. And nourishing yourself, and that comes with like taking care of yourself, and tapping. And I had this affirmation come to my mind because I personally have trouble like tapping into the energy of abundance and like allowing myself to be there, because it's really unfamiliar to me. It's really unknown. I've never felt like abundant. I've never felt like my needs were met. I always felt like I was lacking. I always felt, sometimes I still do, like I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I still do. So it's something I'm still working on. So this is a perfect message to trust your intuition, that everything is right, and that you can trust like so it's about, the affirmation I had was, I freely choose to access the frequency of abundance. Because we have to use our free will. We have to actually align with that feeling. So that feeling can be meeting us. That's what I'm getting here. That feeling is here for us to access. But if we're not willing to freely choose to access it, then we're not going to be able to like reap the benefits is what I'm getting. So, and also with that High Priestess Milk and Honey card, I also pulled from Magical Messages from the Fairies, New Home. Moving is a step in the right direction for you. So travel may be coming up, or wanting to move, leaving. That's just what I'm getting, a new home. But I'm also getting that, excuse me, I'm having some trouble like speaking, but that this could be, you might be wanting to like manifest this to a new home, a new place to live. And so you might be feeling that you're moving, you might be feeling that you're traveling, you might be feeling like you have that you're leaving. That's honestly, I feel the same way. I've felt that for a long time now, actually. And so it's like saying here to trust your intuition. Like, you're right, you are moving, you will have a new home, is what I'm getting for most of you. Or if you're searching for a new home, or if you're manifesting a new home, know that this is coming to fruition. This is coming, and it will be abundant. It will be a new opportunity. So trust your intuition. If you feel like you're moving, if you feel like you're going to a new home, trust it, it's accurate, and just align with that feeling of abundance, so then you can manifest it. Because if you want a new home, what you have to do is be happy with the home that you're in now. So the universe will never provide you with a new home unless you take care of the home you're in now, if you create like a sacred space, if you appreciate everything that you have in your home now. So you can't just have a new home because you say you want a new home. Like, if you think you want a new home because it's gonna bring you happiness, or if you want to bring a new home because it'll bring you a fresh start, if you want a new home because whatever external reason you think a new home is going to bring you, you have to feel that within yourself first. So it's really about creating a home within, is what I'm getting. And if you can focus on creating a home within and feeling at home within your own body, within your own skin, then that will manifest. And that's what I was saying, like, at the beginning. It's like things haven't caught up on the outside that you're feeling on the inside. But that doesn't mean give up hope. That doesn't mean stop doing what you're doing. Like, keep practicing feeling at home within yourself, because this will translate. This will eventually begin to be reflected in your life, outwardly, externally. So what I'm getting right now is to not focus on the outward, to focus inward, to focus on the home within, to focus on trusting your intuition and following that guidance. Okay, so that's the overall energy for the month. That's a lot. So next I asked, what does the masculine need to know this month? And I pulled Two of Swords. So this is all about like making a decision, making a choice. This is the swords too, so sometimes the mind can get in the way. She's blindfolded here. So this is what I was saying with like things, you can't see things clearly, like being in the dark, things are hidden with the moon here. The moon often represents like deception, and her back is to the moon, her back is to the water, which would represent like our emotions. This is like not really trusting your intuition, but what you need to do is trust your intuition to make this choice and to make this decision. And with that card, I pulled, to clarify, the Strength card. So whatever this choice is, and the card that I pulled for Wisdom of the Oracle was Soulmates. And so this decision may involve a soulmate or like a love. So making this choice, and this is about taming the ego too, and this is about the mind. So these are both kind of representations of the mind, but this is about like she's tamed the lion here, she's tamed the ego. So what I'm feeling for the masculine this month is really like taming the ego and moving past fears, moving past illusions, traps from the mind, making a decision from the heart, because that's what this card is about, this soulmate card here. And penguins might be significant to you. This is also a number 5 card. So 5 represents change, positive movement forward. And with that card, I pulled New Career. Your work focus is shifting in a positive, new, and successful direction. So this new career may pertain to a soulmate, and if I'm getting that, like, making this choice will lead to love and to a new career, whatever that may be for you. So take whatever resonates. So like the masculine may want to be focusing more on, I'm getting the masculine, especially the divine masculine, they came here to really be creative. They are very creative. Like the masculine is just, that's their energy, their creation. And so I feel like a lot of divine men came here to create, and what I think they came to create, especially because I believe a lot of divine masculines came and they took on really like challenging lifetimes or like challenging childhoods, like a lot of childhood trauma, and one of the reasons that they would have chosen to take that on is because they wanted to turn it into something. They wanted to take their pain, they wanted to take this, like, because society has just torn men apart, and it's just disgusting what our society has done to men, and how, like, I feel like a lot of masculines, like, feel trapped by, like, limiting beliefs and self-limiting beliefs in society and what they believe a man is. And so what they came here to do is to take what they've been through in this lifetime and turn it into gold. That's a word I just heard. Turning it into gold. That's what I got. So, your soulmate here, and I believe a lot of, like, twin flames or soulmates, they came to work together, to create, like, especially a new, like, paradigm and shift the beliefs around what relationships are, what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman, and, I feel like when you make this choice, like, it's going to change your life. So this is going to be like a life-changing choice, so it's important to be gentle with yourself, and that's why it's requiring a lot of strength, because I'm getting this sense that, like, especially with this 5 card, with the soulmates, with the 4 + 1 is 5, so it was like this is going to be a major life change, and so that's why it's important, and that's okay if it takes you some time to make this decision, to make this choice. And I do see that it's requiring a lot of strength, but that's good. This calls for strength. So that's what's going on with the masculine this month. So to make choices more from heart-centered, to like, know that, like, whatever choice you decide to make is, if it's coming from the heart, is going to bring this, like, milk and honey, this abundance, this prosperity. So especially if, like, because I got another message here that, like, there's some concerns about lack and, like, letting go, which we got both of those here. So, like, concerns about lack and letting go, and, like, not having your needs met. And that's exactly what that milk and honey card was saying, is that your needs will be met if you can trust your intuition, if you make choices from your intuition, and you trust yourself. If you trust yourself, then all things will work out. But that's, like, especially what we're learning to do, especially with this high priestess here. A lot of people are learning how to trust themselves, trust their intuition, trust their emotions, trust their feelings over what they're seeing. So that's important. That's good there. And then next, I asked what is going on with the feminine, or what does the feminine need to know this month? And I pulled the Empress, which has been coming up a lot. I love this card. And this is all about nurturing yourself, self-love, self-care. And I am going to mention fertility and pregnancy, because one of the cards that I pulled to clarify was pregnancy. And then I wanted to clarify this Empress card because I wanted to get more information. So with that, I pulled the King of Swords, which I love these two together. I said that when they came out. It's like, I love these two together. So, because the Divine Feminine, the Empress, she has her masculine and feminine energy balance. So she uses her intuition and she uses her discernment. And this card here always speaks of discernment to me. This is also about communicating clearly and communicating from a space of this, like, feminine energy. So, not from, like, because he's, like, emotionally detached. He can come off kind of cold and hard and just not very, like, he's not very emotional. So, it's important to have, like, your emotions. But the thing about emotional healing and stepping into your feminine energy is that you begin to learn how to operate from your emotions in a different way. Not from a way that's, like, childlike, I'm getting, because this is a card I pulled in the advice for us this month, which is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords, he's not mature yet. He still communicates from this place of, like, harshness, from this place of impulsiveness and kind of meanness. He's not very, he kind of rushes forward, so it's about letting that go, I'm getting. And so the feminine is learning how to, like, really balance her masculine and feminine energies, I'm getting, like, her discernment and her intuition, because she's very intuitive. The Empress is very intuitive, but she's also discerning, and she's logical is what I'm getting here. She's strategic, because that's also another. So learning how to move from your emotions and your discernment and your logic is what I'm getting for the feminine, but also, like, nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself, meeting your own needs, not, like, waiting on and relying for somebody else to. And then with that, I pulled from Wisdom of Oracle, Chaos and Conflict, which I think I'm going to read this card. But this is just all about, like, chaos and conflict. So being in, like, turmoil. So, and that's what I'm getting with the King of Swords, is to discern, like, and not get caught up in the chaos and conflict. Avoid drama at all costs is what I'm getting. Let's see here. 33. 33 might be a specific number to you, or 3. I've been seeing 3 a lot. 3 is a number to me, and also 3 is also a number of like Christ, Jesus, and Mother Mary, which I feel them with me closely. Like, they're with me all the time. I rely on them a lot to help me feel like safe and secure, and especially in my heart chakra. So, alright. Chaos and conflict. Disarray. Being at cross purposes with another. The tension of opposites. The value of chaos before order. This oracle's message: opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well. As you become unmoored by it, I don't know that word, scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself that no longer need, and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. I love that. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outward and causing disarray. You may find yourself at cross purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you may need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand rather than to be understood. That is perfect. Especially with the following message here. But this was with the feminine energy. So, like I said, you may have created the feminine. You may have manifested chaos externally because of the chaos you were feeling within. And this is like, I'm getting that this was like a opposing of the masculine and feminine energies. And like they were at battle. That's what it felt like butting heads. And so this situation, whatever the situation applies for you, was manifested to show you the chaos, like to physically show it to you so that you could learn. And what I'm getting is that this is, especially for me myself, has like, it's pushing you to go inward. That's what I'm getting, to rely on your intuition, to trust yourself, to really nurture yourself, to really take care of yourself, to really discern what is chaos. Like, because a lot of times we create chaos in our minds, especially if we came from a very chaotic home. We believe, that chaos is like normal. And so, sometimes we can create chaos to avoid like following our purpose. We can create chaos to like self-sabotage ourselves, is what I'm getting. But this said that it talked about, we created this so that the pieces of us, the old pieces of us, I see it like as a tornado, could die. And you see here, like, there's pieces of this zebra falling off. He was like a giraffe. It looks like almost like a mask. Like, so the old parts of him are falling off. And you see the zebra revealed there. So this may be like pieces of us that weren't authentic falling away, which we had a message about authenticity in this Milk and Honey card here. So, and there's also another one coming up. But also, like I had mentioned, I did pull, and I love this because it was talking about, like, so a new you. And this card that I pulled was pregnancy. And this says, the birth of a child brings great blessings to you and the world. So, this could pertain to an actual physical birth, or this could also, what I'm getting is like a metaphorical birth, like a birth of a new you. That's what I'm getting, a birth of a new you. Oh no. Which I had another message about that too. So next I'm going to move on to what we are not seeing clearly. Or like what's hidden to us this month. And I pulled death. So this is all about transformation. This is all about like a rebirth, like the old parts of you dying so that you can be reborn. So I like that we got that message again. So this is what's going on behind the scenes. This is what we're not seeing clearly, is that this time is a time for us to die and let the old die and let everything fade away, so we can step into our true selves, our authentic selves, which will bring great abundance and prosperity, it looks like, and a new career and love. So what seems like chaos, what seems like maybe turmoil, is not. It's all how you perceive it. It's how you look at it. So you can see it as something that's terrible and like burdensome, or you can see it and you can glide through it, and you can allow the pieces, like, the more we hold on to the old, the more we're going to suffer. So if we allow the old if we let go of the old and we allow it to fall away as it will, the parts of us, this may include letting go of family members, this may include letting go of, just like those memories that you replay in your head, like, you just have to let go of all these old things, past pain and hurt, past heartbreak. Like, it's about letting things die, because they're sabotaging you, they're keeping you from having your highest good. So we just have to allow that to fade away, and with that I pulled All That Glitters, and I'm going to read this too, because this is about, like, you see the masks here, so this is about, like, taking off the mask, allowing yourself to be seen. Let's read that here. Number 16. Essential meaning: a need to see beyond the superficial, the desire to don a mask or dress something up to disguise its true nature, trying to be something you're not, chasing after every sparkling new thing, being... I don't know what that word is. This oracle's message: it's only human to want to adorn oneself in trinkets and paint a pretty picture of oneself. It is natural to want to acquire the trappings of status or to deny them as statement of rebellion. But if it sparkles, is it better? Whether it's a fast car, a big house, a title or position, the stamp of authority, or the sparkling of diamonds, these icons let you know something about a person, place, or thing, or do they? The truth is that people seek to acquire things because of what they will do for them, and how they symbolically will elevate them and make them more attractive. This card signals that it's time to see beyond the adornments and probe underneath the surface. Learn to recognize the masks people wear and the motives underlying them. Imagine that all the glitter is gone. Would you still desire the object or the person? That was just pretty self-explanatory. Masks are coming off. People are going to start seeing people's true colors. And, yeah. So you just have to discern. Is this somebody I want in my life? Is this something I want in my life? Like, do you want something just because it looks good to other people? Do you want something because it makes you feel cool? Or, it's like the status and, like, it's just like your soul is seeking something much deeper. Your soul is never going to be happy or satisfied with a big house. It's never going to bring it any satisfaction ever. You have to have all the things you want internally. Otherwise, nothing externally will ever make you feel anything. It'll gratify your ego for maybe a little bit, but then you'll always be searching, you'll always be seeking for more. So this is about, like, getting, like, looking underneath the surface. That's what I was saying. Like, and there's a lot of darkness and, like, not being able to see. That's on purpose, to make you go inward, to see what's really valuable. What do you really value? Do you value, like, money, or do you value, like, time? What do you value? That's what I'm getting. Like, values are shifting, and this is creating, like, a transformation, because this card is all about transformation. Because death, this card can be seen as, like, it's not a bad card, it's just transformation. We always die, and that's this time of year, it's very feminine energy with the High Priestess here. So it might seem like things are falling away, and they are, and it's about letting them. And then I pulled this birthday card, and this said, a significant birthday holds the answer to your question. So this might be like a timing question if you had one of those, but what I was also getting as soon as I pulled this card, because I was going to clarify it, but then I was like, no, that makes so much sense when it came with the death card. So this is just like a birth of a new you is what I'm getting. And I always see this, for me personally, this is how I see it, but I'm also very childlike, and so, there's, like, this anticipation, at birthday parties when you're sitting there and all your presents are on the table. I just see myself at, like, my birthday party when I was, like, 5 years old, and all your friends are there, and it's awesome, and you see all your gifts, and they're all wrapped in these presents, but you can't see what they are, or they're wrapped in gift wrap and bags and stuff, and you're just, like, wondering what's in there, like, what did I get, like, being so excited, like, can't wait to open them, like, gonna rip them open, like, so that's what I'm getting there. It's like, there's this anticipation. And it's to focus more on like the giddiness and the excitement, and that will help like this transformation, this death go in a much more like ease. It'll be so much more flowing. It'll flow more if you can see beyond the surface, if you can see the anticipation and where you're leading to. So right now you might be like, because I'm seeing like a river right now, my clairvoyance is like showing me pictures like you're in a river right now, and you're just like going over these like rocks, and it's just like there's all this stuff you could get caught up on, all these trees are down, you know, and like can you just float? You know, have you seen leaves? They fall into the water. I was watching this fall. The leaves would fall into the water and I would watch them float down the river or the creek, whatever, and they would see obstacles, you know, there would be trees in the way, or there would be rocks they would get caught up on, but then sometimes they might get caught up on those for a little bit, and then something would come along and kind of push it, or they would just flow around them. So it's like you can allow yourself to flow around these obstacles, because what I'm getting is that like this chaos and conflict, they seem like obstacles, but it's like, can you see beyond the obstacle? Can you see beyond the obstacle and see what it's teaching you? You have to change your perspective and discern, because we have the King of Swords there. Discern, is this like an actual obstacle? Do I need to create chaos here? Because maybe you run into something, maybe you run into an obstacle and it triggers a lot of chaos within you. Are you going to react from that chaos and then create more of it, or are you going to see it and be like, okay, this is what it's trying to teach me, and then let yourself flow, keep going down the river? Like, because we're gonna hit obstacles, we're gonna hit like rocks, we're gonna hit those things, but can we like allow ourselves to flow freely through them and not get caught up in them? So that's what I'm getting there. It's like allowing these pieces to imagine yourself as a river, and you can just imagine water flowing through you and just allow it to flow through you, and like just ask that it's like taking away any old past pain, any old resentment, any old anger, because I'm getting emotional healing. That's what I'm feeling here, because I'm seeing water, and that always represents emotion to me, and like letting it flow through you. And you see this here on this Empress card, the water, like the stream here. And so that's what I'm getting with that. It's just like with emotional healing, the river here, like I was saying. Sorry, I had to pause really quick. So the river flowing here, and then there's water here, and then also just like kind of like this high priestess here. It kind of looks like there's like water flowing through her like dress here. So I'm just getting a lot of water, like a lot of emotions, emotional healing, and like not getting caught up in them, and recognizing that they're coming from like the past, and then we have to let the past go. So we can either hold on to it or just let it go, and then we can keep flowing. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so I had to pause there for a second, and I was talking about just like letting the past die and letting it go, and so next I'm going to move on to what is the advice for us this month. So I did share this one already. I pulled the Knight of Swords, and this is like I said, like immature communication, harsh communication, speaking from a place of like immaturity, and I'm getting that this is what we need to let go of, because the card I pulled with these cards was let go from one deck. So letting go of this, like, because this is kind of comes from communication where you feel like you have to like defend yourself. Me personally, like I've come from a place where it's like I've always felt like I had to be like defensive and on guard, and like you kind of like attack just from like your natural like sometimes you just have a lot of there's a lot of tension, or there's a lot of like stress, and you want to communicate from this. Because what else I pulled to clarify that one was this 9 of Swords, which is also like anxiety, like insomnia, not being able to sleep, just a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear. So letting go of this fear, letting go of this, and communicating from this place of fear, because the swords are all about communication too. So letting go of like this fear, letting go of the illusion, letting go of the defensiveness and like the need to be right, because this is like ego, like coming from the place of ego, and the ego wants to be right, you know, like letting go of that like defensiveness and that immaturity of that need to be right. That's what I'm getting. And then also I pulled, because this is 4 of Pentacles, which to me this says like hoarding. Like there's a lot of people that hoard their money, they don't hold on to their money, and this, for abundance to flow and prosperity to flow to you, you can't hold your money. You have to like invest it into things that will in return bring money back to you. So this is like holding on to your money, like this is a lot of lack, like not like, see how he's like has his feet there, and like, yeah, this is just like this sense of lack and like holding on and not allowing like abundance to flow, because abundance is an energy and it's a flowing. Abundance is like giving and receiving, so like give and take. So like letting go of this need to like hoard or to hold on to, especially material possessions, because the pentacles are all about like the physical, like holding on to money, holding on to material possessions. Like let go, and that's literally the card that I pulled. Let's let go of these things, let go of these attachment to things, you're gonna have to let go of things physically. In the material world, you're gonna have to let go of money, you're gonna have to let go of possessions. If you want to open your life up to wonderful and prosperous opportunities, you're going to have to learn how to let go. This says, as you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. So if you're desiring this new home here, if you're desiring this prosperity, this new career here, this new love, you have to let things go. You have to let the old die. You have to surrender. And that's all about being in our feminine energy. That's all about learning how to trust. And with that, I like that these cards are similar. I pulled, like in color, Fork in the Road. I'll read this too, but this is all about just like making a decision, needing to make a choice. And yeah, like these cards, like the colors are similar here on the card, like that green. So a very earthy, like grounded color. So you might want to connect to nature to help you let go. That always helps me let go. And like especially like even, okay, so here I'm in Iowa and it's winter time and it's really cold outside. And you can't, like, I'm one of those people that likes to lay on the grass, especially for women, especially like on my period, like my cycle, I like to lay on the earth. I just mentioned that now because I'm on my cycle right now and I would love to lay on the earth, and this helps like absorb the energy. And also women can get caught up in like, oh, I hate having my period, and like shaming themselves. I still notice when I shame myself for like, oh, I hate being on my period, and like especially like there's just a lot of shame around that. So it's all about like, and that's our flow. It's about like letting it go. So we have to let it go, you know, just like our flow. But I'm going to read this. 13 might be a significant number. This is also adds up to 4, and 4 is the number of like stability. It's the number of foundations. This is also a 4. So we can't build our foundations on like deception, or we can, but if we do, they'll crumble because it's not very stable. So 13. So like lies, like that's why it's important to allow yourself to transform and let this death to happen, because this will get rid of like, this will get rid of the like this will get rid of the parts of you that aren't stable, the parts of you that can't withstand especially a relationship or a career in which where you have to have a very stable foundation within yourself to be able to make it. Alright, let's see. What number was this? 13. Time to make a decision, considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. This oracle's message: every choice has a consequence. You have arrived at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to a decision. Will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled, or the one well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid this junction, for it is an important crossroads. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. That's beautiful. So yeah, what I'm getting is like you can either choose to make decisions based off the past, based off fear, based off lack, based off the old, or you can choose to let go and move into an unknown direction. And that's what I'm getting with the darkness and this need to make a choice, because we had this again. So fork in the road and this 2 of swords here, which is all about making decisions. And these decisions, it says take heart. And these are both green here. Like these cards represent like the heart chakra is what I'm getting here. And I'm feeling my heart chakra right now, actually. I've been doing a lot of healing my heart chakra. And also I can feel like energy in my heart chakra that's not necessarily mine, but I can still feel it. So I'm just working with Archangel Raphael. Oh, I love him. Call upon him. Just ask him, like, please help me release, and hold your hand on your heart. That's what I always do. Release any anger, resentment, and do some energetic healing, like boundaries. I've been noticing, especially with this chaos and conflict here, because this is coming up for the feminine, and I represent the feminine, and so I've been having to, it's forced me to put up even stronger energetic boundaries, and it's been awesome because it's like it's something you have to do, like, not just, like, once a day, but, like, I have to do it throughout the day daily, especially, like, living with people or being around people. When you're around people, one thing to do at night, at the end of the day, is just to ask your guides, ask your angels, can you please help me cut any cords, like, and then see your family members or see your friends, any people you spent through with the day with, and just imagine them, like, their cords being cut from you. So this will clear their energy from your field, because they can get caught up in your force field. And imagine a bubble being surrounded your entire body, and push it out as far as you can, as far as you feel comfortable. Sometimes I just do it just into my room, so I'm in this bubble of like putting up gates. That's what boundaries are about, is like, it's not closing people off completely, but just have a fence so that they know where they enter and where they don't. And you have to do that energetically too. It's not just like physical boundaries, but energetically. Especially important for the internet, because there's a lot of internet usage, and people are on their phones constantly. You have to clear your energy. You're taking on so much energy from the internet, so every time you get off the internet, just close your eyes. You don't even have to close your eyes, just say it. Any energy I just took on from the internet, any energy that is not mine, please clear and transmute this energy. And then, so it is. If you believe it is, it is. So it's all about the intention, and setting the intention, and holding a focus. And energy work is important, because we are energetic beings, and so very important. Next, I'm going to share what's underneath the deck. Okay, so these. Okay. All right. I feel like these are good. So under the deck was this Knight of Cups. So this is like feeling very romantic. Like, this is like feeling very loving, very caring, because it's the cups, very emotional, but not quite mature yet, but still having the feelings. Not necessarily like taking action yet, but holding this cup. Like wanting to offer something. Offer love, offer emotion, whatever. And then under that was Eight of Wands, which could happen quickly. Fast, rapid movement forward. And I'm getting, because this is about making choices, or feeling overwhelmed by how many choices you have to make. On all those cups, you can see that some of them are filled with like snakes, and some of them are filled with jewels, and some of them are filled with like this laurel, which represents like victory and success. So it's like, and this is like represents your shadow self. So making this snake here could represent like transformation and death. So it's all about making a choice, and that's what has come up multiple times here. And what I'm getting is, to make that choice, you have to follow your divine guidance. This is the Hierophant, which I've been seeing a lot. So this is about being divinely led, and that's what I'm getting there. So that was underneath the deck for the tarot. And then this one I wanted to mention, building blocks in the reverse. So I'm going to read this too, actually, because I was talking about like getting rid of the things that are rotten. And let's see here. Okay. Now is the time to address the cracks in the foundation of your life. Perhaps your values have changed, and it's time to strengthen your convictions and let go of the things that no longer serve the vision you have for your life. Or perhaps you choose to ignore the signs that a situation or agreement you have entered into is not right for you. Remove the rotten pieces and reinforce your core moral strength and integrity. Now is the time for rigorous honesty, for you are called to renovate and upgrade your consciousness. You will be so happy when you do. Spirit has a spectacular blueprint for your life, far beyond your imagination. Don't be afraid to replace what's not solid. So that is perfect. Underneath this deck was vegetarian. So this is all about like changing your diet. It says, a new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. So this, I have done this. I've changed my diet too. I eat mostly vegetarian. And so this it gives you this sense of being lighter, and then you feel lighter, and then you are lighter. And that makes sense. And then underneath that was, you've got the power. Use your abilities to resolve this situation. You can do it. So strength again came up. And strength was mentioned in another card. So, alright, and now I'm going to pull one from Lightworker Oracle. Just what is the overall message for us? January 2019. The overall message. January 2018. Okay. Past life activation. I'll read that here. I like it's like a dove there, which represents like peace. Okay. 35. I love the messages in this deck here. You have talents within you that have been developed through many varied life experiences. You have had many lifetimes already, even if you don't recall them consciously, helping you evolve and grow into a loving being that you are today. Your desire to grow in consciousness and spiritual power to assist the divine plan unfolding throughout the universe is heard and supported by the spiritual worlds in all ways. To this end, past life material is being activated, now for your benefit and the greater good. Your soul has a history of lifetimes through which it has learned to be wise and develop certain talents. You have learned lessons and acquired skills and abilities. Sometimes these were mastered through very challenging circumstances. You might feel you are obtaining mastery in certain areas again this lifetime, again through challenging circumstances. The soul can certainly develop through joy, love, and happiness, but often it is through the experience of conquering a challenge that the real gems are won for the crown of the soul. This oracle of past life activation comes to you when a power you developed in a past lifetime that would be useful for you to access in your current lifetime. Perhaps this talent or ability will become the seed of a spiritual vocation for you, a skill that expands your career or brings you personal joy. This ability that surfaces from the depths within your soul will be whatever is of greatest benefit to you now. Sometimes, whilst a treasure is emerging from the depths of your being into consciousness, it will be coated in the pain of the past. You might notice the outer coating first, the pain of abandonment, rejection, ridicule, or shaming that perhaps resulted in the suppression or denial of that soul gift in your past life. This may be the reason you have not incarnated with it fully awakened and at your immediate disposal. You have to allow it to rise up to you, and you need to dig a little to crack open the coating of the wound and free the treasure that temporarily became trapped in that pain. When you release the pain, you free the treasure once locked within it. Perhaps your gift was challenging to a community in a past life, whereas now it would be more readily accepted because that community has mastered spiritually over time. Or perhaps you have matured and now will value your gift and be open to divine guidance to show you how to use it for the greatest good in this lifetime. The gift you are reviving is worthwhile. As you cleanse the memories, beliefs, or programs that once caused you to subconsciously protect yourself by hiding your talent, you will grow strong enough to process the pain and stand in the truth of your reclaimed gifts. If you have been considering a new line of work, which we got new career, feeling you'd like to explore, express different talents, or have the urge to develop an interest and transform into a vocation, you are very likely already feeling the stirrings of that past life activation now taking place for you. Trust the changes you feel. A part of your divine inheritance is being restored to you. And this is the invocation. Through divine grace, protection, mercy, and empowerment, I call for the activation of all past life gifts and abilities that will serve my greatest and most joyful, inspirational, and soul-satisfying success this lifetime. I ask for healing assistance from the higher beings that love me unconditionally so I can swiftly release any unhelpful conditioning or resistance to the expression of these talents. I ask for inspiration and guidance to bring them to life and the world in the best possible way this lifetime. May all beings receive their full divine inheritance with mercy and grace. Through my own free will, so be it. So that was perfect, and I feel like it summed up pretty much everything, like making a choice and like feeling your intuition and like letting go of the past, releasing things so that you can step into your like full power and serve and do what you came here to do. Everything is on a soul level. So I hope that you have a wonderful month and a happy new year, and I will be back next month and probably next week for another reading. So have a wonderful new year.